Namaskar. I welcome you all in this lecture series organized by Ramanujam College. It is a great opportunity as well as a pleasure and honor for me to be on this platform in front of you all. My name is Dr. Dinesh Sharma and I am basically an Ayurvedic doctor as well as a yoga teacher. At present, I am working in Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga as an Ayurveda consultant. Today, we are talking about yoga practices, yoga module for respiratory disorders. It is very common and is very interesting topic to discuss today. Why? Because the place we are living in and the phase we are going through since 1.5 years, like COVID situation all over the world, this pandemic has taught us a great lessons to us. This pandemic has taught us to be aware of your health. This pandemic has taught us to understand your own self first. This pandemic has taught us to realize the inner potential we all have. So in this 1.5 year, we have learned how many there are new dimensions of our life in different fields. It can be from your digital working from home, or it can be schools from home, or it can be health, being at home, or it can be experimenting with different varieties of food, or it can be just being with family at a time. So this pandemic has taught many dimensions of life, and one dimension, the most important, is health. Now today what we are talking about is yoga module for respiratory disorders. In this whole era, in this whole pandemic era, we have learned how important is our breath, how important, how crucial it is to get a breath. We have realized when we saw the crisis for oxygen cylinders. So why to wait for certain time? Why to wait for that period of time to come again? We should not let that situation dominate us. So let us start working in a way that we are strong enough by ourselves to understand our own systems, our own health in a much better and progressive way. To understand this topic of yoga module for respiratory diseases, it is important to understand the concept what it is. It has three components, that is yoga module, it has second component is the respiration, and the third component is the disease. First, the disease part. Disease part is something which hampers your normal functioning of the body, like the normal breathing is going on. If something happens and you feel breathlessness, or you feel blocked nose, or you feel choked, or you feel like whole area is puffed up, then what you will do? Then you seek a doctor. Then the doctor will advise you certain tests, certain examinations, investigations to be done, and then you come to a conclusion that you have particular respiratory disease. It can be from simple sinusitis, it can be asthma, or it can be any form of COPD, like chronic obstructive respiratory disease, which is basically an umbrella of many diseases within it, like bronchitis, emphysema. In all disorders, they have different features, different symptoms, different causes, but ultimately which is most hampered is the breath. And how we can improve breath, we are going to learn in this session today. It is observed that worldwide there are millions of people get diseased or get this morbid condition, especially the respiratory disorders. And there are, according to WHO, there are 64 million people suffer from COPD every year. And this is the third most deadly disease which causes maximum death in the world, COPD, respiratory disorders. So, it is an alarming sign for all of us to understand what we can do from our simple lifestyle to our a systematic lifestyle in a progressive and a more disciplined way to improve our breathing. The second component, the respiration, the normal respiration. It is said that we hardly use our lungs to breathe better. If you observe, if you keep your hand just below your nostrils, you can feel your nostrils, you can feel your breath here, and if start keeping your hand down gradually, you will feel after this level, certain level, you will not feel your breath here. Why? Because your breath is so short. You are hardly using this part of your lungs, and this part is not being utilized. It, in simple way, you are hardly using 1/10 of your lung capacity. In this we learn how to breathe in maximum and how to breathe out maximum, so that we can utilize maximum portion of our lungs, and we can energize, we can change our other systems to function in a different way. The third component in this is yoga. And when we talk about yoga, the first picture comes to our mind is some difficult posture, some posture in which you're either twisted in a in very imaginary way, or you can see head down or legs up, or you can twist in a very unusual manner. Generally people think yoga is that. No, yoga is not. That is a part of yoga, that is asanas. Yoga is from a simple discipline of your life. The definition of yoga says yoga karma sukaushalam, means everything which you do skillful is yoga. Another definition of yoga says samatvam yoguchyate, it means the balance is yoga. If you are having everything around you and you are stressed up, you are not getting sleep, what is this? What is the use for this? If you have everything but you don't have a good health, what is the purpose? So ultimately, when there is a balance of everything, that's yoga. And when you start creating balance within, around you, in your families, that basically yoga is. In this practical session, in this today's session, we are going to learn how to create balance in this present scenario, so that we can have a systemic, physical, mental, social balance. A new terminology which we have learned nowadays since past 1.5 years is social distancing. So earlier we were never used. We were like so curious, so excited to meet people. Now we don't. The scenario has changed. But keeping a distance for a healthy reason, that's the purpose. So now ultimately the health is the purpose. So it is within health, within yourself, in your family, and in society also. The method may be different, but the purpose is same, health. So in today's session, we are going to learn simple basic practices which we can learn to in our daily life, so that we can adapt ourselves and we can improve ourselves in most possible and progressive way. Yoga has immense dimension. Immense dimension, what I say, because yoga is in an ocean. Ocean because suppose you are going to a beach, and when you go to a beach, some people who know swimming, they go and just they sit at the beach, enjoy people watching, and they come back. Some people play with the sand. Some people go to the seashore, they just dip their feet and come back. They don't know swimming. Those who know swimming, they go further. Those who are divers, they go further deep. Those who are very curious and having excitement towards life, or like keeping memories, so they go and bring something, souvenirs from the sea, and take home. Yoga is that ocean in which what you are going to get, it's all up to you. You can just go practice yoga do some show off, or adapt as a purpose of life, or everything depends on your practice. In today's session, we are going to feel or experience a small portion of that ocean, or say a drop of that ocean, in the form of practicing yoga for health, that is specifically for your respiration or improving your respiratory system. In this method, you can use any of these practices to improve your health, to maintain your health, or to prevent many diseases as well. The simple practices what we learn from yoga is a discipline, because it says that yoga is a science of discipline. Science of discipline means unless and until you adapt in your life in any possible way, you cannot get the benefit out of it. So you have to be disciplined. It's not that one day you have practiced asana, so your next day you are gone, you are taking a break for 2 days, you are tired. No, you have to practice daily, and every practice has to get better and better every time. So today's practice is basically focused on respiration, respiratory disorders. So how to improve respiration? How to improve respiratory disorders? So the first step is discipline in your diet, discipline in your routine, discipline in your all activities what you do. You cannot do anything randomly. You cannot do anything. You cannot just get up anytime. You cannot just sleep anytime. You cannot just eat anytime. You cannot just do anything anytime. It has to be specified, like timings. Like in schools, we have different periods on time. In offices, we have office timings. In nature, you have sunset and sunrise. There is a timing. Birds wake up. Birds go for their food, shelter, and they come back by evening. So there is a timing. There is a purpose of this timing to maintain a balance. What we humans have done, we have forgot this balance. What we have done, we have thought that we are the most civilized, we are the most educated, or we are the most advanced creation, and we do things by our own choices, and we start breaking laws of nature. And once we break laws of nature, we get the result as accordingly. So once you break laws of nature, the nature gives you back in the form of ill health condition or diseased condition. In such conditions, you have to look back at nature. You have to understand the nature. Why? What did I do wrong? What I can do now to maintain health? So this what and why should strike your mind. Not why this happened to me, not why it's not getting cured. You have to make efforts for your health. To make these efforts, to maintain this health, the first step is the sleeping pattern. In past 1.5 years, our sleeping patterns have changed to a great extent. Why? Because we being at home, we have learned, oh, tomorrow we don't have to go to work, I can be at late night working or watching something on TV. We have digital dimensions have increased now, so you can watch anything anytime. So we are waking up till late night, and we are sleeping till late morning. So this has changed the sleep cycle. This is one of the most dangerous things we have done and still doing. To improve our health, the first step you can still do is start from the setting your sleep cycle. Like fix your time, like 7 to 8, or before that it's possible. Fix up your time that you are getting about this time, sleeping by 10, 11 maximum. Reducing your exposure to the mobiles, reducing your mobile exposure to the computer or TV as such. Rather than you can read books, which we are not doing nowadays. Next component, once you do this, what happens? Suppose you are going to a doctor, and doctor gives you medicine for certain whatever the health issues you have gone for, and doctor will ask you, take this medicine and rest. Doctor will not ask you, take this medicine and run, jog, do exercise or jump, anything. The rest means, once you do rest, it means it improves or it generates healing quality in you. So the sleep is that important in your body. You cannot just neglect or just keep it, oh, this is not my priority, I can work now. Sleeping is should be the healthy sleeping, or healthy hours of sleeping is most important for you. So once you sleep on time, wake up on time, you can start day on time. You can have your day with warm water, like as we are discussing with discipline. For respiratory disorders patients, it is always advisable that the system has to be cleaned, and to clean system we have different yogic practices we will be discussing later. But in the regime, in your day to day activities, the second step you can have is drinking warm water early in the morning once you get up, even without brushing you can do. And after that, avoid drinking tea or coffee empty stomach. It creates acidity in future time. Third, the most important healthy habits you have to adopt is avoid any form of liquid, whether it's water, alcohol, juices, along with your food, like with food, before food or after food. Generally what we do, we take a glass of water and we drink while having food. So what happens? Stop this. Once you do this, it reduces your digestion, it makes it more sluggish, it makes it more difficult for the food to get digested on time. And people have a habit of drinking water soon after the food. So once you do this, it basically again further delays the digestion, it dilutes the digestive juices, and it basically in future time, it helps, it not helps, basically it there are chances that you get metabolic disorders, obesity, thyroid, hypertension, diabetes. There are many range of diseases. So this has to be changed. Sleeping on time, waking on time, and drinking water soon after you get up. And fourth, you have to avoid drinking any form of liquids while you are eating food. After 1 hour of your food, after one of your lunch, breakfast or dinner, drink warm water while sitting, gradually, slowly, sip as you do tea or coffee. These simple habits will help you to basically reduce your body to generate cough. Generally what happens, if you drink lots of liquids or a glass of water around food or something like that, it basically creates more cough in your body, and this cough, it further makes it more difficult for you to have a balanced state. And it cough, if it gets more increased in your respiratory system, it will be blocking there. Then you may feel breathlessness, or you may feel excess mucus is coming out. Then you take different antibiotics, then you take different cough syrups. So to avoid that, reduce the tendency of developing cough in your body by having warm water after your 1 hour after your meals. After this simple dietary habits or routine habits or discipline in your life, what is the most important thing is your shodhan. Shodhan means purification of the body. As suppose when we would cook, and when we cook, we generally clean our vessels, we cut our vegetables, wash them, and then we keep on the stove, cook them, put all spices, keep stirring it, and when it's done, we just keep it covered. The same thing with the body. Once you have to maintain your health, once you have to make your body perfect and healthy, you have to have its cleansing properly, regularly, gradually on time. You have to utilize your whole systems well. You have to make them function well by improving its blood circulation, by improving its nervous system there. For that, yoga is one of the best practice you can do. After having this discipline and the shodhan, and when we talk about shodhan practices in yoga, there are range of practices what we call Shatkar. Shatkar means 6 purificated processes, and these 6 purificated processes basically they are to clean your whole system from head to toe, you can say. And it is not that in this respiratory disorders you have to do all 6, you have to do very few of all these 6. Like simple, if you talk about, we have a simple practice known as Jalaneti, Sutranathi, we have Kunjal, we have Vastradhoti. Let us start with the simple one. Simple one means the simple practices to improve your respiration, to improve your digestion, to improve your overall functioning of the body. The first practice what we do is known as Kunjal Kriya. Kunjal means you have to drink lots of water. Suppose you have taken water in a can, water in a jug, you are drinking that water while sitting in Kagasana. Kagasana is this posture. You are holding a water jug in your hand and you are drinking water continuously, and once you feel like no, I cannot drink anymore, I am going to vomit, still drink the time you feel no, this is the limit, I cannot drink. You keep drinking till the time you feel oh no, I have no stamina, I have no more space for any single drop. Then you keep your water jug aside, you stand, and then you just keep your left hand below your navel, give slight pressure, and the water will come out. This is called Kunjal, in which you are drinking so much of normal water, warm water, and this warm water basically when you vomit out, it basically cleans your digestive stomach very well, cleans up your whole digestive system, not whole but till your stomach. Now people think vomiting is something very awkward, something unusual things, it is very not healthy, but believe me, it is one of the most healthier things we can learn from nature, from animals. Have you seen a dog? When dog eats anything which dog does, he does not have to eat, but he eats, then what he does, he goes and eats grass, certain herbs, by which start vomiting out. So that is what our rishis, our yogis have learned from nature, that once you eat anything or once you need to cleanse your system, it's your duty to clean your system by learning from everyone around you, and it is one of the best thing you can do, drinking warm water and vomiting out. This basically removes the excess of phlegm, which we call cough. It removes excess of acids like gastric juices which are not required, or it helps you to improve your digestion, it improves your complexion, it improves the functioning of your GI tract from mouth till your stomach. It removes the excess of phlegm in your body, and ultimately once you vomit out water, once you take out the water well, the lightness you feel is amazing. After this Kunjal Kriya, there are certain practices which we do for cleansing our nasal passage. These are known as Jalaneti, Sutraneti. Now coming with the Sutraneti first, sutra is basically a thread which is covered with beeswax in its upper half portion, and lower half portion is left like this, opened. So what we have to do, we have to clean this, the first half, the upper part is have to clean with the cold water, and the lower part, the thread part, with the warm water or hot water, and we have to twist, make it harder, make a curve, and we have to keep on our nostril, and then insert in nostril and take out from your, open your mouth, take out from your mouth, wash it again twist it, and again put another nostril, take out from your mouth. So once you do this, this cleans your complete system from nasal passage to this oral. See the brilliancy of our yogis. Before we understood anatomy, they knew that our nasal passage is connected with our mouth, and it's our duty to clean this, and they figure out this method of cleansing this. It is such a beautiful and intelligent way of cleansing your system. So once you do this Jalaneti and this Sutraneti, people generally do get afraid of this thread. what think this will be so painful. I generally tell them, if you are scared of this, if you think it's painful, believe me, having a scalp on your nose when you go for surgery, any kind of scalpel, this is much comfortable. And if you think that is much easier, then you can go for surgery anytime. Surgery is advisable when you have no options, but why to go for that stage when you can cure yourself and be better at early stage even. To overcome fear of people are having about this sutra, it is another alternative. It's not the solution, but it's an alternative to gain confidence. First is that this rubber tube, basically it's a catheter used for in medical system, in which we generally wash it, sterilize it, and keep the process same. We insert in our nostril, when feel at the palate, it's touching a palate, we just hold with the 2 fingers and take it out from our mouth and wash it again and repeat it again. So once we do this cleans the systems, you gain the confidence of using this. So once you are confident of using, if you have been using this regularly, then you have the confidence of doing this sutra. So once you do this Sutraneti, this is one of the amazing practice you can do to cleanse your whole system. One of the practice to relieve or to get cured from sinusitis. We have seen many patients having sinusitis, and they had been trying many things. They have tried surgery even, and they again get reoccurred. So before them, we advise Sutraneti, and believe me, it is one of the amazing practice you can do to overcome this sinusitis problem. For migraine also it is good. After doing Sutraneti, any of form, we do Jalaneti. Jala is water, Neti is when you do insert in your nose. In this form, we are going to insert water through this Neti pot. In this Neti pot, we fill up warm water, saline water, till its neck. We hold like this, and we insert this nasal tip at our nostril, fix it, turn our neck, and then open our mouth, breathe in through the mouth, and then breathe normal. When we breathe normal, the water from the other nostrils come out automatically. After doing one side, take the water out from the nostril and repeat from the other side. As you do this, water comes out. Take out the water, keep it aside. Now the most important thing is, now after doing this Jalaneti, is generally what people do, they do Jalaneti and they don't take out the water properly. There are fine or minute water droplets remaining in this area. So what people do, they do a little bit of Kapalbhati and they just done. No. After doing Jalaneti, it is most important to do Kapalbhati or a few more practices which basically so forceful that no water droplets are remaining. You can sense that, oh, I am feeling light, like that. So once you do this, the water is like completely out, then you feel relaxed better, and then you can do your rest of the practices like asanas or sukshmayam or pranayam, anything. So these are the simple practices what you have to do for your shodhan or purification of the body. Now once you do this, you are basically preparing yourself for other practices like asanas, yogic sukshmayam, and other changes, other practices.